Hello gaming friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be opening another hero pack for Marvel Champions the card game by Fantasy Flight. We've got Ironheart today. So let's waste no time. In fact, I already undid the shrink wrap. Let's see, we're going to get her awesome poster. So she's the box art, there she is. She upside down. I guess you could do it this way if you wanted to. Because there's the skyline. Fancy. Okay. A new rule, progressing identity cards. So let's check this out real quick. This is going to be vital to kind of how she plays. She has 3 identity cards in total, each representing different stages of her personal narrative as a hero. So during setup, the weakest of the cards is put into play under the player control, with the other 2 cards kind of set aside. As the game continues, that player can place progress counters on the identity card using the ability on the hero side, swap it out. Okay, so basically she gets stronger and stronger. You've got an individual, hero alter ego side, and then you reach a milestone and you can upgrade that, basically almost like the villain stages 1, 2, and 3. And then she's got a new keyword requirement here. A card with the requirement keyword can't be played unless each resource of the specified type is spent when paying for that. And she's going to come with leadership, which is my favorite of the aspects. So I also like Iron Man and War Machine, so we've got another armor hero here. I'm expecting to like this deck quite a bit without even taking a big look at it. So Ironheart, she's a champion. This is her version 1. Tell you what, we're just gonna take all 3 versions right here. Version 1, 1, 2, and 3. So she's got a lot of defense there. Hand size of only 4. Hit points of 10. Yeah, not bad, but that hand size 4 is rough. But level up. Remove 6 progress counters from Ironheart. Ready her and swap her to version 2. Let's look at version 1's alter ego side. Riri Williams, recovery of 3. Begin the game with this card. Child Prodigy. Action, spend a science resource to place 1 progress counter on her. Limit once per round. So man, if you just did that every single round, it would take you 10 or 6 rounds. I bet there are other cards in here that let us do that faster. So Ironheart, version 1. Version 2, now she has Ariel. Thord is upgraded to 2, so 2, 2, 3. She gets another card in her hand up to 5. Level up, remove 6 progress counters to ready up to version 3, but she also gets a tough status card when she does that. And then on here, you can spend science resource or 2 resources of any type to place 1 progress counter on her. So there's version 2, and let's look at her final version. Ironheart, Ariel, Champion, version 3. So she's got 3 Thort now. So see, the Thort goes up 1, 2, and 3, but she's always got 2 attack and 3 defense, so that's nice. Maximum efficiency, hero action. Remove 1 progress counter from Ironheart to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So obviously we're gonna have cards that give us more progress counters, but once you've maximized, you can then start using those progress counters to do damage. And 1 progress counter for 2 damage, I don't see anything about having to exhaust the card or only once per round. You could potentially do a lot of damage just with that. And then yet again, spend 1 resource of any type, place 1 progress counter on Riri. So it looks like the first and third phases you can spend 1 of any. No, you have to do just a science, or 2 of any type, but then 1 of any type. So she gets more efficient as she goes as well. And then her hand size gets up to 6 as a hero, 7 as a alter ego. So it'll be interesting to see like how quickly you can get her up to version 3. Obviously version 1 seems quite a bit weak, but hopefully you won't be spending much of the game in that version. Let's take a look at her signature cards here. We get Brawn. He's a champion as well and a gamma hero. While he is exhausted, he gains generate a science resource. So you can attack with him, get that resource to progress. Fly over. Remove 3 threat from his scheme and place 1 progress counter on Ironheart. 2 instead if this threat removes the last threat from the scheme. So we're seeing those cards that let you get upgraded as fast as possible, which is what you're going to want to do. You want to get to version 3 as quickly as possible to just be a powerhouse. So a couple of those cards. Photon Beam, attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and place 1 progress counter on Ironheart, or 2 if that defeats the enemy. Nice. I like that. New and improved. Skill. Choose X different options where X is equal to your version number. You could search your deck for an Ironheart card and add it to your hand, give her a tough status card, and ready her. Those are your 3 options. So if you're in version 3, you're going to do all 3 of those. Sector Scan. Reduce the cost to play Sector Scan by X, where X is equal to Ironheart's version number, so this is potentially free. Until the end of the round, you may look at the top card of the encounter deck at any time. Wow, that is awesome. That would be amazing, especially in a multiplayer game. Stroke of Genius, a resource here. After you spin this card, put a progress counter on your identity. And it's a science one, so you could use that to get a science if you're an alter, or use that science to progress when you're an alter ego, and that lets you progress as well, and you get to draw a card. That's awesome. Okay, Ronnie Williams, Persona, alter ego action. Exhaust her to heal 2 damage, or place a progress counter on her. Tony Stark AI, exhaust him to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the other. Photon Blasters, you get +2 hit points. That's nice because you only start with 10. Exhaust it to deal damage to an enemy equal to Ironheart's version number. Not bad. So you're potentially hitting for 3 just every turn for free. Plus you're getting hit points out of it. Propulsion Jets, 2 hit points. Oh my gosh, she's going to get a lot of hit points. That's potentially 14. Exhaust it to remove threat from a scheme equal to Ironheart's version number. Wow. So she can end up with 14 health, exhausting things to just deal straight damage, dealing a bunch of threat, using your progress counters to deal extra damage in addition to her basic powers. I feel like she is going to be a powerhouse. Even when she's not all the way up to version 3, I think she's still going to be pretty strong when it's all said and done. All right, she comes with leadership, so let's see what cards we have with this. Cloud9. Also a champion here. They have the aerial trait. Exhaust Cloud9 to choose a player until the end of the phase. Each aerial character that player controls gets a +1 thwart. We get Falcon, the champion version. After he attacks or thwarts, spend a lightning resource. I can't remember the name of it, guys. Remind me what it is in the comments. You can yell at me because I keep forgetting. Ready another champion character you control, which is basically all these people, including Riri. Patriot, after he enters play, choose a champion character, any of these people. That character gets +1 to each of the basic powers since the end of the round. Nice. Go all out. Requirement, lightning. Exhaust your hero, deal damage to an enemy equal to the total of your hero's thwart, attack, and defense values. Right there, that could be what, 6, 8 right there for 2? Whew, that is nice. Get 3 of those. Man, this may be going to some of my other decks as well. Push ahead. Requirement, science. Exhaust your hero, remove threat equal to their total value. So yet again, man, these cards just seem a little bit OP. I guess you would need them to play someone like Ronin. Choose your hero until the end of the round. That hero gets +1 to their thwart, attack, and defense. Once you can play this at the same time as one of these 2 cards, you're getting even more out of it. R&D facility, shield location, requirement 2 sciences. Uses 3 research counters. Exhaust it to remove a research counter from it. And choose a friendly character and play. That character gets +1 thwart and attack to the end of the phase. Yet again, boosting these push ahead and go all out cards. This could be insane. I am excited to play this. Power of leadership. Okay, basic cards. Agent 13, Shield Spy. If she attacks or thwarts, choose a shield support and ready it. You know, like I don't know, R&D facility potentially. Snow Guard, champion. After Snow Guard enters play, place up to 3 shift counters here. While the shift counters are here are equal to X, she gains. If there's 1, she gets +3 attack and overkill, or if there's 2, she's +3 thwart. Gains the aerial trait, or if there's 3, +5 hit points and gains retaliate 1. Wow, that is awesome. That's crazy. So you can choose which one you want her to be. I think that +5 hit points and retaliate would be pretty good. Vivian, an android. just like vision. Let's see, hero response. When she enters play, choose an attachment, non-elite minion, or non-permanent side scheme until the end of the round. Treat that card's printed text as if it were blank, except for traits. That can be very useful depending on how you use it. Go for champion. It's max 1 per deck. Play only if your identity has the champion trait, which Ironheart does. Each champion character in play cannot take damage until the end of the round. Oh my goodness, that is insane. So you can just throw all your allies out there. Bam, they're invincible. Go all out, use them for defense if you need to, or don't. Oh gosh, that's crazy. Hellcarrier, we all know what that does. Ingenuity, play only if you have the genius trait, which our alter ego does. Exhaust it, generate a science resource, which would help with progressing, so those are instant adds for me for her deck. All right, let's check out her bad cards, the ones that do bad things to us, her obligation. Give to the Riri Williams player. Remove 1 progress counter from your identity, then discard this card. If no progress counter was removed this way, deal yourself 1 face down encounter card and shuffle this deck. So you don't even get the option to, swap the alter ego to remove this card from the game. It happens. Roll by force. While Lucia von Bardas is in play, this card gains a hazard icon. When they're not in play, it gains an acceleration token. Yikes. And there she is. She's a criminal cyborg elite. Let's see. While she has a tough status card, she gets +1 scheme and attack. After the villain phase ends, give her a tough status card. Yikes. That's rough, but Riri's a strong character, so it makes sense for her to have a strong nemesis. So you're constantly going to have to get a tough status card off of her almost every turn. Let's see, Cyborg Tech. You can put to the minion with the most traits, which she's got 3, so it's most likely going to be her, not necessarily. If she's out, though, most likely. Attached minion gets +3 hit points and retaliate 1. Gosh, that stinks. And +1 attack. Political Retribution. When revealed, if she is in play, she schemes. If Roll by Force is in play, place 3 threat on it. If neither is in play, the guard can surge. And no matter what happens, bad things are going to happen to you. And there's 2 of those. So that's Riri's deck. Let's see the extra cards that come with it. Bombshell for aggression, a champion. Divide damage from Bombshell's attack among each enemy as evenly as possible. So she just kind of spreads the damage. So 3. Not bad. We get Wasp. Wasp ignores the guard keyword, patrol keyword, and crisis icon. Nice. And Pinpoint. When a player card would be placed into the discard pile from play, exhaust Pinpoint to shuffle that card into its owner's deck instead. So all 3 of those cards are champions. Basically, these are made for Riri if you choose to change your aspect to aggression, justice, or protection, respectively. Now, instead of just some extra cards, the newer hero packs have been coming with a single modular set, which I think is a great change, a great addition they've made. A lot of people already have a bunch of extra, player cards. They don't really need more and more and more, especially with the same thing. But adding more modulars to vary up your encounters, I think, is like the best thing to add to the game. I'll take more modulars and more villains every single day over new heroes. If they didn't make another hero for this game and they said, you know what, we're going to double the amount of villains we're making and we're only doing villains, I would still be very happy because that's what I want more of. Give me every single villain you can. Okay, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. ZZZAX. Zax? Okay. Zax controls the city's power supply and is causing havoc with the system. Each player must place threat here equal to the total number of lightning resources in their hand or on cards they control. That's got the acceleration token. There's Zax himself, or itself, whatever it is. 4 health, 2 and 2, but Zax gets plus attack, plus X attack, and plus X hit points, where X is equal to the total number of lightning resources on cards in the engaged player controls. Yikes, so they can get pretty powerful. Haywire, attached to your identity, treat the printed resource of each card in your hand as if it were a lightning, aka let's just boost this guy up a ton. Choose to either discard a card you control with a printed lightning resource or take 2 indirect damage to get rid of that, which I think you're going to want to do pretty quickly because that's going to really jack this guy up. 2 of those. Air static. When the villain phase begins, deal 2 indirect damage to each player with a lightning resource in their hand or on a card they control. Then as a hero action, you can choose either discard a card you control with the lightning resource or take 2 indirect damage. So yet again, another thing there. And then zap. Take indirect damage equal to the total number of lightning resources in your hand. If your identity was dealt 1 or fewer damage, go ahead and just give that card Surge. You got 2 of those. So this is an interesting modular that I've never seen one focused solely on a certain type of resource. So this would be really fun to play against. You can kind of cater the challenge if you know you've got a deck with a lot of lightning resources and you want to really hurt yourself. This is the one for you. But that is what is inside the Ironheart Hero Pack. I think, even though she's not one of my favorite characters in the lore, this deck looks so much fun to play. I love the type of decks where you are kind of building up your character. Iron Man was one of my favorites early on because, you know, you would add all his different tech to make him stronger. This takes a twist on that by actually changing your hero card itself to make it better, which I think is super cool. I can't wait to play this hero. Like I said, leadership's my favorite, so I always try to stick with the precon for a while to kind of get a feel for everything, but I'm probably going to keep her with leadership. But if you guys have swapped her to a different aspect and loved it, let me know what cards you guys use. Let me know who she's good against. Let me know which villain she's not very good against. And let me know which heroes you played with that modular. But until then, if you guys don't mind hitting the subscribe button, that really helps us if you haven't already. It makes us feel good that we know people are actually subscribing to the channel and the channel is growing. We're trying to be here to, you know, give out information and just have, you know, teach people how to play games, share news about games, what different cards are, playing games. You just have an awesome, fun environment for fellow gamers. But you can also hit that notification bell if you want. That'll let you know when our new videos come out. But until then, most importantly, you guys go play some games.